Mobile Geeks coverage of CES 2015 is brought to you by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland with Mobile Geeks right here at CES 2015, and we are with Alcatel right now. And this is the Alcatel OneTouch Watch. It's a very basic, or not even as basic as you might think, smartwatch. So it has a 1.26-inch screen on here that has this capacitive part down there, where also probably the display driver is situated. The screen itself is round. It has a diagonal, or it has measurements of 240 by 204 pixels, and it runs on its own platform, so they're not using Android Wear or anything. They're just doing their own operating system actually on here. It runs on an STM429 SoC that's probably running at around 180 megahertz. It's very basic equipment on here. This serves mostly as a notifying device, but it also has its own pretty interesting features actually, but we'll get to that in a second. As you can see, you have a pretty wide bezel on here that basically extends the watch face. You can change the watch faces if you want. You just hit that button right here and go over here, and there you go. Oops, that's the wrong one right there. Let me just go back. Come on. The watch faces are right there. And then you have different watch faces. There should also be a companion app on the phone where you can switch out different watch faces on this device. But let's just quickly take a tour around. So this whole thing is 10.4 millimeters thick. On the side you have the button to activate the device. I don't know if you can actually tap it to activate, but that should also be possible. It's got a capacitive touchscreen, so that should probably work. The whole thing is made out of stainless steel, so that should last a bit. It's also IP68 certified, so you can go swimming with it or take a shower, for example. On the other side there's pretty much nothing, and yeah, it's basically a simple design on this. On the bottom you get a heart rate sensor, so as you can see as it lights up there, this will measure your heart rate while doing workouts, for example. So that's a small infrared thing down there that measures the heart rate. The plastic bottom right here is also waterproof in this case. Let's take a quick look at the strap right here. So it has this clasp that basically connects, and you can also play around with the size to make it fit your wrist. But what's also very interesting is this thing up here, because that is actually a USB port or USB plug, so you can plug this into any phone charger or pretty much any PC that you have around you, or any other USB outlet to charge the small battery that's in here. The battery is 210 milliamp hours, and that should last for 2 to 5 days. That's at least what they're saying, depending on use, certainly. That's also the reason why you can't change the wristband on this. And to make it easier to pair this device with your smartphone, depending on support on the smartphone, as you can see right here, there is an NFC logo on there, so this should also be super simple to pair up with any smartphone. It supports Android as of version 4.3, and it's also supposed to support iOS actually. Now let's take a quick look at the software. So this is just your basic watch face. You can change that as I just told you, but they've actually integrated a bunch of really nice small features on here. This is paired up to a smartphone. That's how it gets its data. Works through Bluetooth, just like most of the other smartwatches that don't have their own cellular modem on here. And you can basically swipe through this interface, and it will show you, for example, the weather for the next couple of days on this screen. The way you go back is you always tap down here at the bottom, and it should actually, it should actually just go back to that home screen right here. Down here you have a bunch of nice little features for tracking your health and fitness. So it not only counts your steps, and it also shows you your calories and all these kinds of things. But what's pretty interesting is they are actually able to measure how long you've been running. It tracks your sleep. It also measures your different activities, so you can measure, or it shows you, or it analyzes actually, if you've been walking or running or driving a car, for example. So that's how these bars up here work. Let's go back again, and we'll take a look at the workout mode that's also integrated down here. So right now we're running a workout. That was why the infrared, or the sensor down there, was working all the time. And you can see what you've done in the past. You can see what your heart rate was like, or the average heart rate was like, how long your exercise was, and go back through a couple of days on this. What's also interesting is that if we go back here, come on, If we go back here, you can also set different watches, have the stopwatch running. What you also can do is basically control music on your device. So right now it's compared to a smartphone that's playing music, and if I want to switch the track, you just swipe and it switches the track to any other track. What's also nice is you can regulate the volume on this, so you just rotate this small bar up here, circular, and then you will go down on the volume right there. And the next feature is actually the camera. So the one feature you have is either you just hit the button to take a picture, or you can also just shake the whole thing and then it will start a countdown for taking selfies, so you have a timed shot on this. Next one is your basic compass, which also shows you the altitude that you're at. So we're in Vegas right now at 603 meters altitude. Let's go further over here. That's again the way to choose your watch faces. Shows that already. Let me just tap it in here. And you can also look for your phone, so that actually makes the phone that we have down here vibrate, so you can find it if you have lost the phone. The next one up should be the alarm settings or the vibrations. So if you get notifications on your phone, the whole thing will vibrate just like you know from other smartwatches. This down here is the flight mode to turn it off, and what you do right here is basically switch the brightness on the screen, and this over here inverts the design. So that's just been a quick look at the Alcatel OneTouch Watch at CES 2015, and if you like what we do on our channel, give us a thumbs up and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And the guy from Alcatel just showed us another interesting feature. So this is your Alcatel smartwatch, and this is actually an iPhone 6 right now, and that's running the companion app. So this should also pair up with Android devices, which we have right here, and this iPhone up here. So you're basically operating system agnostic. I don't know about Windows Phone, but that might come out later on. So yeah, as always, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you later. This has been the Alcatel OneTouch Watch.
Mobile Geek's coverage of CES 2015 is brought to you by ASUS.